What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning George Foreman. George Foreman has made a statement, surprisingly, being an American fighter. He has said Anthony Joshua is a special talent. Fighters like him are far few in between. Seem they don't come in bunches, one every 25 to 30 years. Only time beats them. Wow. This is surprising to hear from George Foreman. And, this is not the first fighter. A lot of fighters are coming out and speaking their piece and speaking their opinion on Anthony Joshua. From that tweet, he's a special fighter, but special how? You know what I mean? Charisma-wise, talent-wise, power-wise. You know what I mean? Like the things he does inside the ring or the things he does outside the ring. We don't know what he really meant by that. I'm assuming he means the whole package. Like, okay, this guy, what he does inside the ring, outside the ring. So let's go from there. Let's counterpunch from there. Joshua was recently in the States for like a week or two, promoting his fight. And, he comes here all the time, but the latest time he came here, he did make, I feel, a big impact because he went to all these podcasts. He went to these places that were talking shit about him. The Breakfast Club, Sway's Universe, AK and Barack, a lot of different podcasts and shows. And he cleared things up. So we finally got some insight from the horse's mouth of what happened with the Deontay Wilder negotiations, and then he still was in a situation or at a point where he was like, well, I'm not really judging anyone. I'm not just putting the blame on Deontay Wilder because, obviously that the fight ain't getting made. So it's somebody's fault it didn't get made. You know what I mean? Which that's something I wouldn't have done, but that just shows you that he's not trying to ponder on the past. You know what I mean? Because the future awaits. Therefore, as someone like Deontay Wilder talks about that fight or a future fight with Anthony Joshua, he talks about it as though it's in the past. Like you can't return back to the negotiation table. That's one thing that puzzles me about DW. You know what I mean? Like, why are you talking in past tense? Like Joshua died in a damn plane crash or something. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Joshua, he's a guy that he's embracing the culture. He's learning things. He's picking up stuff. He was recently with different celebrities, hanging out with Danny Jacobs. He was with Drake, hanging out with him. Because, Drake's training. Drake's training to be a boxer. I don't know what's up with him. He's doing some Mickey Rourke shit, he's embracing the culture. A lot of people are accepting, the other champion, across the pond, which is very positive, but as far as George Foreman's remarks, he's a special fighter. That's how he feels. That is yet to be seen, until he fights Fury or Deontay Wilder or whoever else, that comes about. You know what I mean? He has to challenge. People have, I believe in challenges. They challenge for the belt, and for the champion to prove that he's the best, he has to beat those challenges. And a challenge is getting that other belt, fighting that other champion. You know what I'm saying? He is the unified champion, but he's not the undisputed champion. So we can tell if he's a special fighter or not. You know what I'm saying? So that yet remains to be seen. The significance of the tweet is it's coming from George Foreman, an American fighter. You know what I mean? Because what we've seen previous as though American fighters, they stick with their own. You know what I'm saying? Like Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield, guys like that. These guys have a lot to say about even Lennox Lewis, and he's not even American. They had a lot of negative things to say about Anthony Joshua. So to hear George Foreman come out and say, yeah, I think he's a special fighter, that's like, whoa, okay. That's very surprising. you know? And so I can only assume, again, what he's saying inside and outside the ring, and, he is a good role model, and you can market someone like that. You know what I'm saying? He could have his own damn grill, you know? Series of Range Rovers or something like that, the AJ series or something, because, he's that type of dude you can get behind. I mean, yeah, he had his own story or whatever, but, the way he thinks and talks and reacts to certain things, you know what I mean? It shows prestige in a sense. You know what I mean? Not that, wild, savage, unpredictable attitude that some fighters have. You know what I mean? And endorsers, advertisers, people don't want to ride with that shit. They're not going to sign on to that. But that's okay if that particular entity, that person, that boxer or whatever, makes enough money to take care of himself, which I'm pretty sure they do. But, it's a special thing when you're endorsed with a many endorsements like that. So there may be truth to what George Foreman has to say, but it remains to be seen, me counterpunching that. You guys tell me what you think George Foreman meant. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.